And so, class is back in session. Hello there! My name is Max, also known as M. Kieran, and for a few years now, quite a few years, I've been running a writing advice blog and YouTube channel. A long time ago, those long-time followers will remember a series of videos that I had, and they went away for a little while, they changed shape, and I wanted to begin 2017 with the return of something a little special. The Virtual Writing Academy. What is the Virtual Writing Academy? Well, it's entirely likely that if you're watching this video, you're an aspiring author or a writer and you want to tell stories. And one of the best experiences that I had learning to write or practicing the act of writing was doing creative writing courses in college. We would sit down together, and they weren't really moments of lessons, you gotta learn this and memorize that. It was applied learning. You learn by doing and by sharing. As with any other creative endeavor, it was more effective when being done than just being taught. So in these creative writing courses, we would sit in these classrooms and we would arrange the chairs in a circle and we would write. The professor would give us an exercise and we would sit down, and for a set amount of time, we had to write. There was time in the class and you had to write because you were going to share. And it was one of those exciting experiences because there is something incredibly human and primal and powerful about being timed. It's the exact same reason why sometimes the most interesting creative endeavors come from limitations. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes of writing on the spot, non-stop. And I wanted, from a long time ago, and with the return of this series, I want to emulate that part of my creative writing courses. Those moments when you would sit down and suddenly you would forget about everything else. The only thing that existed, the only thing that mattered, was the writing, the story, the prompt, and your characters. If you are new to this series, and it's entirely likely that you are because it's been a long time since the Academy was in session, let me explain to you how this video format is going to go. I'm going to assume that you want to write. I assume that you clicked on this video, you can spare 10 minutes of your time, can you? I think you can. I'm going to give you today a writing exercise. I'm going to give you a little bit of an interesting, weird exercise. If you know me, if you know my story seed books, then you know what you're in for. A weird writing prompt. There's a little bit of a something in there, but this is ultimately about the act of practicing. To sit down and to actually get writing done. There is time in this video. I'm not gonna hope that you time yourself. There is time in this video. 10 minutes allocated for you to sit down and write. I will even put on music. I will let you know when there's a minute left, and we'll get back together, talk a little bit, share our experiences, and move on. You can spare 10 minutes. You clicked on this video, so what you need to do is to go grab your favorite notebook or writing software of choice. You can even minimize this video if you would like. I'm going to tell you when to bring it back up. It would be recommended to close the door, put headphones on, and get ready to write. And of course, just to be really clear again, I am going to have a little bit of a musical track in the middle of this video during the 10 minutes of writing. One of my favorite tracks, something nice to get into the mood of the particular prompt, though you are free to put on something else, background noise, or just really lower the video audio. That's all fine by me, no problem here. Do whatever works for you. I'm gonna assume that either A, you pause the video, or you're scrambling to get your stuff ready. Notebook and pen, that's fine by me, or computer and keyboard. Either way is fine by me. Pause the video, get ready, and at the count of 3, I'm gonna assume that you're ready to get going, okay? 3, 2, 1, let's start. Today's challenge is a very simple one. The challenge that I am most often going to be proposing in these videos. Today your challenge is to write for 10 minutes non-stop. 10 minutes without stopping, without checking your phone, without looking over your shoulder, without letting the world around you interrupt you. 10 minutes may not seem like a long time, but remember, hold on to courage. Because every book that you love, every story that has inspired you, was written in 10-minute chunks. When you think about it, all those stories were written in 10-minute chunks. Let's dedicate 10 minutes to doing a little bit of that. Today, I have a prompt for you. I wanted to get back to the basics. If you know me, if you know this channel, or the writing advice, analysis of storytelling. And I believe one of the things that I took from my lovely creative writing professor in college, that character is at the center of story. So let's do a prompt about character. Let's put a poor loser in a terrible situation. Isn't that the most fun? I think so, but with a little bit of a twist. Because I don't do straightforward prompts here. There's always a catch, remember that. Though, of course, I have to clarify, as always, that the prompt I'm going to be putting forward is kind of just the general prompt for this video, though you, yes you, writerly friend, you are encouraged to change it, twist it, morph it, do whatever you want with it. Make it work for the story you're working on at this moment, or make it work for whatever your favorite pairing is. That's all fine by me. All I want you to do is to get writing done, okay? And one more thing before we jump into the actual prompt. Remember again, the goal of today is to write for 10 minutes, non-stop. It means that it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be written, okay? Repeat that one more time. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be written, okay? Okay, let's do this. Today's prompt. I have a bit of a fun one for you. Stories usually tend to revolve around a character getting what they wanted. The climax of the story, the conclusion revolves around them getting what they wanted. Let's flip that around. Today's prompt is titled Victor. Write a scene from the point of view of a character as they reflect on their lifelong dream. Some questions to think about. What does this character want? What have they sacrificed to come this far? Who have they left behind? And now, the catch. Just hours prior, mere hours, this character was about to achieve their dream. But they decided against it. Why? Not as straightforward as one would think. A scene, a moment in time, and the character with a lifelong dream, a goal, something they wanted to achieve, and mere hours ago, they almost did it, but decided against it. Why? There are many questions for you to consider. What they were after, what did they sacrifice to get this far, why did they wanted it, and why did they let it go away? Why did they decide against going after it? Is the dream sweeter when it seems unattainable? Is purpose more important than resolution? Or could it be that maybe we're thinking too far ahead? Maybe something got in the way. Maybe someone got in the way. Maybe the people who were sacrificed along the way suddenly appeared again. Countless possibilities, countless ways to tell this story, but there is only one way, and only one way that you can tell this story, writerly friend. Consider the questions that I proposed forward, examine the elements of this prompt, and seek to find the thread that only you can find. And make it fun. Above all, make it fun. If you're uncertain, if you are a new writer, and you look at this prompt and you go, I don't know what to do, make it fun. Change it, twist it, morph it, do whatever you need to do. Make it fun. Maybe it wasn't a lifelong dream. Maybe it was something that just jumped into their mind. Maybe it was something they never asked for. Maybe it was something someone else wanted for them. This, and many other questions, can be answered and only be answered by you. The time is almost here, but I want to remind you, as always, many people out there tell you that you gotta know to write, that you gotta have experience to write. You don't need that. All you need is yourself, your pen, your fingers on the keyboard. Telling stories is at the center of our culture, our history, the way we communicate with the past, the present, and the future. You can tell stories. In this prompt, there is a special, magical way in which you can tell the story, and only you. Though, of course, if you're having a little bit of difficulty knowing where to start, because the beginning is always the worst part, let me give you a little hand. I always like to give people doing prompts a little bit of a helping hand. Let me give you the first line of the story. Let me tell you how this story begins, so you can just jump in from there, take that launch pad and go off. Tell your story, okay? This story begins like this. I was wrong. I was wrong all along. And so, the time to write is here. Write that first line if you want it, toss it out if you don't, either way is fine by me. The time to write is here. Be brave, jump in, don't question yourself, just write. And it begins at the count of 3, 2, 1, go! 60 seconds remaining. Alright, time's up! Pencils down, fingers off the keyboard. 10 minutes is not a lot of time, is it? Once you're in the zone, once you're in there, time just flies. And that right there is the best time in writing. When the minutes, the hours just fly by. Because you're not here, you're there in the story, writing. I hope that you had fun, and I hope that you brought your own twist, your voice, the way you tell stories, that you and only you can tell stories, to this particular prompt. I want to inspire you, if you would like to go into the comments down below and tell us what you did. You're free to post your writing if you want as well, absolutely. Converse with your other writerly friends. Consider this almost like a creative writing course, a great chance to meet other writers in the comments down below. What did you do? How did you twist things? Was it someone else's dream? Was it worth it? And what was it after all? Success? A job? Money? A relationship? What was it? What did this character want? And were they named Victor? These and many other questions you answered. And I hope that you had fun. I really do hope that you had fun. Character, for me, is at the center of stories. My wonderful creative writing college professor, Marcy, taught me the golden rule of writing. And one of the only rules that I follow. And that is that plot, people see plot as the end all, the thing that matters the most in the story. And Marcy taught me that plot was the byproduct of characters taking action, making choices, and facing the consequences of said choices. That right there is the magic. That right there, when she explained that to me, things clicked in me. In my head, I finally understood. I used to be focused on events happening as though history books, but I forgot that those events in history happened because of people taking action, making choices, and at times, facing the consequences of those choices. I hope that you had fun today, writing with our poor little loser, trapped in a terrible situation. Will things develop well for this character? I don't know. Only you can tell us that. And I guess if I must take a second to be more editorial than anything else, I've always been more fond of stories about characters, about people dealing with people things. I have fun, of course, and I enjoy stories about the grand scheme of things, the fate of the world, the fate of a nation, war. But I find, at least to me, that even in those great stories with countless characters and nations battling against each other and the entire fate of the human race, I still hold on to the characters, the choices they make, the things they say, the moments in which I see myself in their faces, in their words and their actions. And I hope that maybe, just maybe, I've shown you another point of view, another way to look at things. Plot, I don't think it's what everyone else thinks it is. Plot is what happens when your characters are being characters. Or rather, when your characters are being people. I hope they enjoyed today's video. As a little bit of things I gotta clean up with, the track that you heard today was Beneath the Surface by VIG and OCRemix.org. OCRemix.org is a wonderful website of talented musicians who are making video game remixes, and this track and countless others, we're talking thousands, are available to download for free over at OCRemix.org. The link to this track and the ending and main theme to this video are in the description down below. Another disclaimer is that if you would like to share this writing on Tumblr or on Wattpad or on any other website of your choosing, you are free to do so. You do not have to link back to this video, though I would appreciate it. Aside from other things, yes, you're clear and free to post your entire writing in the comments down below, and I do also encourage you to converse with your other writerly friends. Create relationships, talk with them, get to know each other. This is a great chance, like creative writing courses, to meet other writers. And of course, as always, I would love to hear what you have to say. What did you think of this, the pilot? Well, it's more like number one. The number one episode, the returning episode of the VWA, the Virtual Writing Academy. A place for me to inspire you to write, give you a writing exercise, and make sure that you sit down and get some writing done. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember that this video will be here in the future if you need another prompt, if you need more time to come back and maybe expand on this story, on this character. The writing that you did belongs to you, not to me. The character, the events, whatever that unfolded from the prompt is yours. Post it whatever you want, do whatever you want with it, it's yours, not mine. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for having gone all the way through this video, for doing some writing against the vile world and the things that are happening around us, and the uncertainty against the blank page. You came here and you got some writing done, and that's amazing, and I'm proud of you. Thank you. As always, I would love to hear what you have to say, and if you have thoughts or ideas on future prompts, subjects you would like me to tackle, I have a few videos already planned ahead, but if you have recommendations or thoughts, Max, I want to do a prompt about this, a prompt about that, leave it in the comments down below as well. I have been doing writing advice videos for a long time. There is over 200, almost 300 writing advice videos on the main playlist on my channel, and I also have an enormous How to Plan a Novel workshop, a full 1-hour workshop where I go over my entire process for coming up with a novel. Link in the description down below. And of course, subscribe, tag along, hit that notifications button if you want to be notified of whenever a new video comes up so you don't miss the next episode of the VWA. That's right, there will be more. One episode every Friday, so you can write on the weekends. And one more thing before I go on anywhere, if you enjoyed this video and would like to make sure that I can continue on making videos like this for the foreseeable future, please consider checking out my Patreon. Patreon is a wonderful website where viewers just like you can support the creators they enjoy. If you pledge to my Patreon, you will get a couple of really cool perks, copies of my books before they come out, and you get to watch my videos early. So if that sounds interesting to you, go check it out in the link in the video right now. As for anything else, I want to thank you for watching. Again, thank you. Thank you so much for tagging along. Thank you for being part of this experience. Writing, doing the impossible, telling your own story. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I hope to see you on the next one. Class dismissed.